Easter Sunday. So we got a quick Easter Sunday edition of Cream City Crossover for you guys. Come on in the room. 131, 115 Bucks win it tonight. We are live. Cream City Crossover.
Justin.
There we go. Justin in the building. Again, we're going to do a quick version here of the Cream City Crossover. We appreciate everybody for joining us this afternoon. Good one tonight in the Fiserv Forum as the Bucks take care of business. Appreciate you if you're on the YouTube, on the Twitter as well, at TCIIESQ21. If you're on the Twitter, if you're in the chat, we'll talk to you as well. Again, I know it's Easter Sunday. Some of you guys missing the game. A lot of people out with family doing their things. And again, and it's just a lot. I'm sure we'll see a lot of people who watch this on the replay. I want to make sure you guys, at least like I said, if you didn't watch it, we have something for you. But again, we shan't be long on this afternoon. Let's do it. Bucks recap, game recap this afternoon. Ryan Rollins, spectacular night from him. 24, 4 and 3, 1 steal, 10 of 16 from the field, 4 of 7 from 3. I thought Rollins was fantastic tonight. Got to a step back, got to a lot of the things that you're used to seeing with Ryan Rollins. Had command and control of the game for long stretches, and again, just generally, I thought, especially in that first half, was really good. AJ Green, 2 for 7, 2 of 7 from 3, 6 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Hey, Derry, I think I found your replacement, big dog. I don't like to talk like that, but hey, man, I think I might have found the guy to replace you, big dog. Miles Turner tonight. Let me just show you how sorry the Memphis Grizzlies are. Miles Turner had 11 rebounds. Like if that doesn't tell you what you need to know about what Memphis Grizzlies, about the product the Memphis Grizzlies are putting out there on the basketball court. He only played 21 minutes this afternoon, 19 and 11, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 6 of 13 from the field, 4 offensive rebounds. Kyle Kuzma, 4 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. Ousmane Dieng, 17, 9, and 6. 6 of 15 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, plus 8. Jericho Sims, 12, 4, and 3. I thought Jericho was great in the second half, especially. Pete Nance, 5, 4, and 4. How about Taurean Prince? 19, 3, and 3 this afternoon. 7 of 8 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3. He couldn't miss. And then the unsung hero of the afternoon, Cormac Ryan, where, I mean, you're starting to see 21 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 steals from Ryan. 7 of 8 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3, plus 19 on the afternoon. Again, it's just like he is. Listen, he's just, how old is Cormac Ryan? Well, he is 27. AJ Green's 26. But Cormac Ryan, like, and again, I get it. It's the end of the season. It's March, and we're so again, what can you take from this? I don't know. I'm being facetious when I say I found. I know people will tell you, I'm joking, maybe, but Cormac Ryan, like I'm just saying, like that's what I've seen from him over the last few weeks is what I expect to see from AJ Green. Like, go out, and I'm not saying 7 of 8. Go out there, hit shots, and the difference I see, and again, he's 6'5". I think AJ Green is 6'4". He does look a little bit taller than AJ Green. Like, I mean, again, he's only an inch taller, but he looks a little longer than AJ Green. How you gonna take that? But he, again, talk about gravity. You got to hit shots. At the end of the day, he's hitting shots, and I think the other thing defensively, he's playing defense without fouling. And again, it's not like they're matching him up against, quality offensive players, but get in there, hold your own, and stay in front and don't foul. And again, I'm just saying, I mean, he played 29 minutes. AJ, I'm just saying they both played today, and Cornet Ryan outplay looked much better. On the Grizzlies side of things, Rupert 33, he had a triple double, 33, 10 and 10. Grizzlies just started hitting. I mean, just shots all over the place. Prosper, even the Marquette, right, 13 and 3. You had Hendricks with 11 points, Clayton 20 points. I don't know half these guys. I'm not about to read this. I'm just gonna tell you, I don't know half these guys. 131, 115. I'll keep it short and sweet on on what I saw. Shout out to the Memphis Grizzlies for I thought they got shots, they hit shots, had a little magnet ball going. Looked like the Bucks were gonna run away with things in the second quarter, but the Grizzlies closed the half very well. And the Bucks, they kind of kept a lead throughout the third quarter. From a lot of guys helped it out or assisted in that, and then you got to the fourth. And what I will comment on, I thought it was interesting, the substitution pattern, because, well, a couple things. One, I thought that, again, Miles Turner was dominating the basketball game. And it was interesting that Doc Rivers didn't go back to him. So, again, you get to this, are they tanking? Are they not tanking? Like, what are they doing? And it wasn't very tanky in the first half. And then the second half, I mean, especially down the stretch. Now, again, there was a moment where I believe in the fourth, it was like a 4-point game or something like that. And I'm like, okay, they should probably put Miles Turner back in. And they didn't do it. Now, what they did, they rattled off a 10-0 run without, now it's basically the ball game. But it was interesting because it was still, 10, 8, 7, 8, 9 point, whatever it was, 10 minutes in the fourth quarter, or at least 6, 7 minutes in the fourth quarter, and Doc Rivers did not go back to, at one point, whenever Rollins came out and turned, I thought for sure he'd go back to Rollins, never went back to him. They were up double digits, but in a regular game, you would have probably gone back to your starters to make sure you close that game out. Now, for whatever it's worth, the bench and the young guys did close it out, but I thought, what is Sims finna? I didn't see. Sims had 12. He had 12. I thought Sims was great down because again, because the way Miles Turner played, I really thought that he would have come back in because he played so well. But Doc didn't do it. But the young guys held it out. Give him a lot of credit for it. And yes, Clayton, that was Taj Gibson out there. I don't know why Taj must be hard because Taj is like, I'm getting my check. But anyway, at the end of the day, a 131, 115 victory. A last point I'll make before I give it to you, Justin. I'm so sick, and I said this before. I'm so sick of all of it. You got to lose for the tank and this. I'm so sick. If the Bucks had like a realistic chance of getting a 1 or 2 or 3 with a bunch of, fine. I can hear you out on that. I'm not, oh my God, there's 4 games left. Oh my God, they won a game. I listen, and I don't know who's going 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 in the draft. Is there a real difference between 9 and 10? I'm just I'm just saying somebody's gonna miss on one of these top 10. Whoever goes, I promise you all 10. Excuse me, I promise you. Because you're saying the real difference between 9 and 10. I promise you, somebody in the top 9 that gets drafted is not going to pan out. There's going to be a miss there. I promise. So it's not like, oh my God, we missed on the 9 guys that are surefire, and we picked 10, and now it's over. Like that's not going to happen. And the other piece is to get to jump up in the top 3. You're talking about, again, finishing wherever, and it's like between, I think we talked about the other day, 7% and 10%. It's like, dog, if I told you, boy, if you get in a car crash and you have it's actually not 7 and 10, I think it's 4 and 7. At 4%, if you have a 4% chance of survival and a 7% chance of survival, it ain't that much. It's not that much. You're dead. You're dead. So this whole thing of like, oh my God, you got to lose so that you can pick 9 versus 10, or that you have 3 percentage points better to pick in the top. I'd rather have guys try to play winning basketball and play with good habits versus whatever you're talking about to help you get whatever. Let the chips fall where they may. That's how I feel on that. Clayton says, I don't know if there's a difference from 9 and 20. Right, that's what I'm saying. I don't know that. Yeah, once you get past 5, 6, are we really talking? I mean, again, even those guys, I promise you, somebody's going to miss. Even in those guys, somebody's going to be a miss. But again, I was happy for it. I like seeing wins. And I'm glad the Bucks won tonight, this afternoon. Bucks win 131-150. That's what I saw. Justin, what you see?
Let's go to what Doc saw first. So he talked about how aggressive Taurean Prince was tonight. Talked about how he got downhill. And these games are very meaningful to Taurean Prince and a lot of guys that are really trying to get their NBA footing underneath them. I thought that was a good point. Said the second unit shot the ball marvelous. They moved the ball. They played well. He said with his Marquette math that they shot about 80%. I didn't get a chance to fact check any of that. But I will say, without fact checking those numbers, he's absolutely spot on.
Well, I can tell you, Sim shot the bench. Sim shot 85%. Taurean Prince shot 87%. Cormac Ryan shot 87%. Pete Nance was 2 for 4, 50%. The Nassers was 1 for 1. And Alex Antetokounmpo was 100%. So yeah, he's the only person dragging down at all was Pete Nance, who went 2 for 4. But yeah, everybody else on the bench shot at least 85% from the field.
That's amazing. So he's spot on then. Ryan Rollins, another amazing game, just did a lot of the things. And this is another game that's important to him. Because remember, Ryan Rollins is very young, so he's growing. Talked about happy Easter to everyone. Happy Easter to all of y'all watching us tonight, too. He was surprised we had more than 6 fans in the arena because he thought that people would be out with their families and stuff like that.
Well, I know one guy that was there. Iron Man Clan was there because he got the tickets. So Iron Man Clan got the tickets from the trivia question, and he's in there. So again, good deal. Sorry, I keep cutting y'all. Go ahead.
Nah, shout out Iron Man. Talked about Alex Antetokounmpo. Good to see him get his first field goal. He grew up in Milwaukee, basically. Great for it. Didn't like the alley-oop at the end because he felt like the game was over. And that was the end of Doc's press conference. Doc was short and sweet to the point. So for me, I thought ball movement was great tonight. You're just seeing things from Cormac Ryan. Sometimes you see things from Ajax. Sometimes, but I'm talking about these guys that were good collegiate basketball players, and you're seeing some of that stuff be executed. Now, granted, when you face a team that is great, like the Boston Celtics and stuff like that, you're not going to see as much of it. But against teams that are like-minded as far as what their team is that we're playing against, I think these guys are showing that they're pretty decent in terms of that. So I think there was some talent on this basketball team, and we didn't do a good job exuding it this entire calendar year. I truthfully believe that this was potentially a playoff team, at a minimum a 9-10 team had we play right. I don't know if you blame Doc. I don't know if you blame the coaching staff. I don't know if you blame the front office. I don't know if you blame Giannis. I don't know if you blame other guys on the team, but I think it's a culmination of everything, in my opinion. One positive for this thing, man, we had a losing streak against the Memphis Grizzlies that goes back to 2022. So by hook or crook, it doesn't matter how we stopped it. We stopped it. That should be great for next year. And then just a little bit on that draft in future tanking stuff and all that stuff. I just want to really caution the people that, like you said, Trey, you don't hit on 100% of your picks. And I know this is it's supposed to be allegedly one of the most talented drafts that we've had in quite some time. But just remember, in every draft, there's a Darko Milicic. Or there's a Jabari Parker who gets hurt, or there's a Sam Bowie, or there's a Thon Maker, or there's a Yi Ji Lien. So I'm not throwing my chips in the baskets for draft picks. And what I said, I wish Chris King was here because he would probably attest to this and maybe think differently, whatever the case may be. But from what I've seen from these collegiate guys and with the one and dones and a lot of these guys that are on the top tier, your guy from BYU had the opportunity to take over a basketball game and put his team to the next round. Didn't do it. We all know about a kid from Kansas was in and out all year. Your boy down there from Carolina, hurt, didn't play. So I hear the talent. I've seen a lot of it in college basketball this year, but I don't know. It's not worth the underdeveloping guys like a Cormac Ryan or someone else that could potentially, like you mentioned the last show, Trey, be at the end of your bench and find a way to contribute to this basketball team. But it's great when we win, in my opinion. Go get your free Frosty now. Get your free Frosty. Enjoy that
cheese curd. Well, also you can get some cheese curds from Culver's because the Bucks were up. The Bucks now lead in the third quarter. You get cheese curds.
Well, that's even better, man. We just got to find a way in the great city of Milwaukee that has probably the best summers in the entire Midwest. maybe there might be a city a little bit south that could compete with Milwaukee, but we'll get to that in a second. That's what I saw, Trey.
Yeah, no, I mean, and Clayton says, all right, we can't bring up every G Leaguer and has a couple of good games. Here's the thing, though, Clayton, I somewhat disagree with that because that's what we talked about, Justin, on the last show. It's not about bringing them up and putting them in the rotation. It's not that I'm saying Cormac Ryan should be your next sixth man or what. That's not even what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you look at the end of our bench this year, start of the season, years past. It was, I give you another. Let's go get Torrey Craig. Let's go get. Let's go get Torrey Craig. Let's go get your boy Anthony.
Devon Carter.
No, Anthony. Greg Anthony's son.
Cole Anthony.
Cole Anthony. Let's go get Amir Coffey. Who else? What'd you say? Let's go get who?
Javon Carter.
Javon Carter had a decent little stretch though for a minute. But yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. And you had those guys. Javon Carter, 1 year he was solid. It wasn't he fell apart in the playoffs. But I'm just saying, like those vets that let's go get Joe Ingles, who ain't done that. Let's go, like those guys that are like they might have been good in the yesteryear and. Well, do they have something still left in the tank? And this savvy veteran who maybe just needs another chance? I'm kind of over those guys. I'm kind of over those. Like, yeah, I'd rather have the guys that come from our system and that have proven themselves and can play well in with the Bucks, and I've seen them play well. Cormac Ryan, he's no. That's what I'm pointing. He ain't no worse than Amir Coffey. And he ain't got no. And I don't know what Amir Coffey has made in his career. I'm just gonna look since I'm doing this. Amir
more than Cormac Ryan's made in his career.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm just curious what his contracts of his career earning. Well, okay, either it's not that much. Amir Coffey in his career has earned $14 million. He's sitting decent. I mean, for NBA for in NBA terms. I mean, for everybody else, yeah, he's made a lot of money. But Cormac Ryan is still grinding for that check for what he's going to get. Pete Nance is still grinding for that little bit of money. Another guy's still grinding. Ryan Rollins, his contract is for NBA terms, very. These guys are still. So my point there is. Cole Anthony's made money. My point is Joe Ingles made a ton of money. My point is I prefer to have the guys that are still grinding, that ain't made nothing yet, that are still hungry. Because again, he ain't no worse than those guys. And we're not talking about putting him in a rotation. I'm talking about rounding your bench out 9, 10, 11, 12. That's what I'm talking about.
Or at least, I mean, the thing is, Clayton, and I mean, these guys are also auditioning for other campaigns. No worse. Auditioning for other teams, though. So who's to say this summer you get a Cormac Ryan and you go and you flip him with Utah or the Clippers or the Magic for a second round pick? Because I don't believe, correct me if I'm wrong, we don't have second round picks in this draft. So it's all a good thing for the Milwaukee Bucks. And right now you have nothing to lose and nothing to gain. So play these guys. Let's hope they play well. And remember, AJ Green was undrafted. Ryan Rollins was undrafted. Find some of these steals that you can have. Because, I mean, I don't think there's a Thanasis or an Alex Antetokounmpo coming back next year. And that's 2 spots right there.
Well, I'll tell you they'll be back if the other one is back. Hell, Cam Thomas, like, again, these guys, I'm just saying there are a ton of guys out there that you look at that can play basketball that I would prefer over just running out some old star. Let me not even say star, some old role player, veteran who's been league. And I get there's a point with those guys that you want on your roster, but I just don't think you have to do it with everybody.
Remember DeLon Wright.
That's what I'm saying. That's that right. that has been the John Horst philosophy, is to go get those type of guys. And yeah, I think again, but he's shown that at least we can have some young guys. That's what that's my point. That's what I prefer, rounding my bench out. And again, I said it on the other show, but it's like you want those guys. Again, I don't want to be in a position next year where I got to go. I need Cormac Ryan to be a 10 point a night guy for 75 games next year. That's not what again, if he does it, great. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. But yeah, Goose 4129 says the issue of Bucks fans, y'all sell the soul once you see a player have a few good games. No, 100%. 100%. Let me revisit something else though, because Iron Man Clan says Ryan Rollins is a dog. Let me ask you, what is your? Because and again, I keep going back to the Ryan Rollins thing, because and I think and I've said it before, but social media takes life of its own. I think the thing with Rollins was, yes, you had people who hated KPJ so much that it elevated Rollins to something else. Let me ask you this: what is his ceiling? That's the real question I'm trying to get at. Because you see what he can do. Like there's no question. And again, I talk about time. You still got to beat the allegations, because right now, what we have, and I'm just telling you from a factual standpoint. You tell me what you think his ceiling is, but from a factual standpoint, what we have is the potential classic case of he's really good on a bad team. The question we still have to get answered is how good. What is he on a good team? What? Because again, we also somebody. Because same, and again, it's the same thing with Usman, and I think Usman has a ton of potential too. Same thing. I saw him have 30-some points the other night. But again, you're on a bad team. Somebody's got to score. I think again we're seeing a little more skill because of the shooting perspective with Rollins. But what is his ceiling?
Well, we saw it today with the kid from Memphis. He had his career high
right.
2 quarters. So
right, and,
like you said,
and to your point, Justin, if he played for the Bucks, you'd have Bucks fans telling you he up next. He next. He's the one. So that's my and again, I watch him and I go, okay, he put up 30. He had triple double. I'm moved. I didn't go like, oh my God, I'm so moved by this guy. And maybe yes, I for those worth, I'm like LeBron. I ain't watching nothing they got going on in Memphis. So maybe he has played well. I don't know. But yeah, I wasn't so moved because he had a triple double. But again, if that was a Bucks player, you know what the base would have done.
Yeah, and so look, this is the thing, man. I'm gonna get excited anytime I see somebody like what Oos did the other night, which see Ryan Rollins doing right now. I'm gonna get excited for the Bucks because they play for our team with our city on the front of their jersey. However, if I'm looking at Ryan Rollins, what I see right now, and I see the comparisons in the chat. One guy says Jamal Murray. I think that's a little bit too far. Iron Man says George Hill. That might be closer, but what I see is Malcolm Brogdon in his prime. I see a guy that can be a contributing player on a winning basketball team. And then, oh, by the way, you can go trade him to a horrible team at the time in the Indianapolis Pacers, and he could find a way to lead that team and make them darn near a playoff team if he did make them a playoff team. But I think he has a little bit better of a jump shot than what Malcolm has. And Malcolm had a little bit better, more of the ball handling skills than what Ryan has. But the thing about Ryan's ceiling, which makes it so hard to see it, is the kid works harder than anybody. So right now, coming into this year, he's Malcolm Brogdon. And next year, he could come back and he could be Rajon Rondo. I mean, it's just the opportunity for him to keep growing. I think a good testament for him growing, though, and the reason why I mentioned him is Rajon Rondo. And if you have that guy, if we can find a way, and I know we're going to have coaching staff changes allegedly, we're going to have general management changes allegedly, but I think an important facet for this Milwaukee Bucks team, whether you keep Giannis or you don't, is to keep Rajon Rondo here to develop these guards, because I think that KPJ took a substantial leap this season. And since he's been in Milwaukee compared to what his NBA career had been, and I'm not talking about on the offensive end, and I think Ryan Rollins is going, it's just continues to go upward from there.
I like that. And I think, and somebody, Clayton says, talking about franchise shooting guard. I think the Iron Man says he can dribble the ball. See, that's and again, I occasionally, yes. I really, to me, when a new coaching staff comes in, whatever, when you have Ron, he's a 2. You still need a point guard, whether that's KPJ or something. I think he's a 2. And to me, like, I don't want him to have ball handling responsibilities all game. But if you can have him at that, because again, he does have he does have guard ball handling capability. I just don't know that his game is he's a put it like this, he's a scoring guard first. And a lot of guys are. KPJ is too. But and that yeah, there really isn't the Chris Paul archetypes aren't in the NBA as much, right? Like, we know that. But I think he's really a two, and because he has that set shot in his bag. But again, he can also beat you off the dribble. He's getting to that. You see he can finish too. He's getting to that 3-level. I think maybe you can't. He's a 3-level scorer. It's like if he's a 2, and again, if he's your, I don't know, third, fourth best player, that now you're cooking if he's your fourth best starter. And because again, he can defend the position, and that's the difference between him and AJ. He can defend the position at the 2. He can go off the dribble. He can get inside. He has a step back mid range, and he has a step back 3. He has a flat foot 3 off the pass. Like, he has all of those things, and I think to me, you start diminishing his value just a little bit if you all say, okay, in addition to all the things you do well, I'm gonna force feed you and make you play as a 1 as well and bring the ball up, which again, he can do at times, but he can get kind of turnovery. He can sometimes make bad decisions. I want to take that thought process out of his hands. And yeah, now again, if you just need to, like, for example, Taurean Prince, right? I don't like him driving to the basket. But as much. But Ryan Rock, when he can do anything. So it's not like, and it's not like you never bring the ball up, but man, he can hoop, he can score at 3 levels. But I think to answer the question, I got to be quick, but ceiling, I don't know. I stopped short of everybody like something like Jamal Murray. Like, Jamal Murray. You tell me, is Jamal Murray, would you call him a star? I don't know if he's like for example, and again, different player. But like, even, and Chris Middleton at one point was call him a top 20 player in the NBA in his peak. Chris Middleton wasn't a star to me. Because again, and here's how I break this down. A superstar is a guy who I believe can be the best player on your team and you can win a championship with. Most years, not outliers, most years. That's my general rule. There are like probably 6, 7 guys that I would consider superstars. I'm not going to go through it because we don't have time to do that today. But that's my super. A star is somebody who I would be probably, I don't think, a star is a guy, that's Jalen Brunson to me. Good player. You can put your team. You can run your team around him. He can be your star. He can be the best player on your team. You can probably go far. You might in an off year you might win a championship. Generally though, I don't think you can win a championship with Jalen Brunson as your best player. But that's a star. But I would hand Jalen Brunson the keys to my franchise and try to build and find something from there. Jamal Murray, I don't think would anybody say, here, take the keys to my franchise, you're our best player, and I'm going to build a team around you. I don't think I would do that. So my point there is I would say he's short of a star. And again, noting that he's a great player. And anytime, Jamal Murray can give you 50. He can give you 50 on the rant, on just like Chris Middleton can give you 40 on the night, but I still wouldn't hand the keys to the franchise. Even at his peak, I would never give Chris Middleton the franchise. I don't think he was good enough to do it. But And again, some guys are secondary players. It is what it is. But I don't know. That seems rich to me, Murray. I don't know that he'll get there. But that's probably around. I think his ceiling is probably closer to there, and it's probably closer to there. And again, in my perspective, I don't think he's a star. I don't think, and I disagree with you, Clay. Jamal Murray can lead a team to play. If you had a really, really, really good team around him, yes, but I would not. I wouldn't. My point is this: I would feel uncomfortable if Jamal Murray is the best player in my basketball team. I wouldn't know how far we could get either conference. Maybe in the East.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if Jamal Murray can, if Joker goes down in game 4 of the series, could lead that Denver team and make them over the top in the Western Conference Finals to the finals like Chris Middleton and, obviously Drew Holiday, Bobby Portis, Jeff Teague. We know the supporting cast.
But
But Chris,
to your point, to your point though, Justin, like I'm not saying he couldn't. I can see it. I can see him. I can see for a few games. Oh, I can see him absolutely doing something like. I'm saying, could you do? Can I? Day one, 82 games. You're my number one guy. That's where I'm going. I could see Jamal Murray potentially doing something like that and getting you there once you got to a certain point. But I don't know that I'm talking about the grind. Here are the keys to my franchise. Day in, day out. You are responsible every single game for getting this done. I don't know that he could do it.
Yeah, fringe level all-star player. I know he got his first nod this year. I think you compare him to Chris, and I mean, I know that's not what we're doing, but I think Chris is leaps and bounds ahead of him. That was my point, that I don't think he can do quite what Chris did. However, I mean, it doesn't take away from anything that Jamal Murray is. I think so when I look at a star, right, and I agree with you on the superstar, when I look at a star, it's the guys who will, if you go to the opposing arenas, people will still pay money to see them. I don't know how many people are paying right now to see, and I'm talking about not the diehards. I don't know how many casuals in Charlotte are walking up to see a Ryan Rollins, a Chris Middleton, or a Jamal Murray. So that's why I say neither one of them are stars, but they're very good basketball players. Not taking anything away from them. So, I mean, we'll see, man. Ryan Rollins, absolutely. His work ethic is something that is uncanny. The reason why I mentioned Rondo is because, remember, Rondo did a lot of different things for those winning basketball teams. Defense, offense, passing, all that type of stuff. And being compared to a Rondo, that's pretty high. That's high regard. I think that's a little bit higher than Jamal Murray, in my opinion.
Yeah, like I said, there's no question. It ceilings up. And again, if he takes another leap, then we're talking about something different. I don't know. Like I said, again, what I can say is 3-level score, and I like what I've seen. I like what I've seen all game. Global Exec says, thank you for acknowledgement on Miles Turner. There you go. He did play well. Will Lindquist, our guy, said good points. Think he's a tier 2 player, not a bona fide star. That's where that's where I put him. I think that's his ceiling. I don't know that he's a give your keys to the franchise kind of a guy. But again, it's no small. But being a tier 2 star, that can be a top 25 player in the NBA. That can be a top 30 player in the NBA. That can be a top 40, 30 player in the That can be that. So I think people go a little too crazy with that star word at times. But yeah, he listen, the trajectory is there. And again, I think was he 23? How old is he?
Mm-hmm.
23. So yeah,
early 20s. He hadn't hit 25 yet.
Yeah. No, so he has some chances to take some more leaps in his game. Got to stay in that gym and keep grinding. But the Bucks got something there, and I think that he's gonna be part of this franchise for some time to come. Let's see. Anything else you want to get at before we get to the Giannis talk and then LeBron and get up out of here?
No, I don't have nothing, bro.
Okay. All right, let's go to Giannis. Again, you saw his brothers tonight. You saw funny Doc Rivers acknowledged the alley-oop there. Again, I go back to, we asked it the other day. I think the Bucks do him a solid. Now, interesting enough, the latest development that I saw was Shams come out with the investigation, basically noting that the Bucks, again, the point the Bucks made was they think this is some BS, and that Giannis really isn't that serious about coming back and playing. And what Shams noted was the Bucks offered him they wanted him to do a 3-on-3, and he declined to do it. And Giannis, and that was that from what if you read what Shams put out, that wasn't like a question point. That was he put that out as a fact. Like the NBA found that the Bucks asked Giannis to come to start his ramp up. Let's do 3-on-3. Here we go. And he declined to do the 3-on-3. So that's interesting. I don't know if you saw Jim Marzowski talking to your boy Dario Melendez, who I don't like. I don't like a Dario Melendez. But listen, I come out to you.
Hey,
listen, I ain't got.
It's Resurrection Sunday. Let's
Yeah.
keep the peace today. We'll get him Monday.
Yeah, I'll put him 6 more feet under. That's a joke. That's a joke. But
Out of pocket on Easter Sunday.
but I get credit where it's due. He did a good interview with Jim Arzowski. Arzowski basically said something that again we talked about before with the pregame workouts, basically saying I've seen Giannis work out before games, and I've seen him play games where he hasn't had nearly this amount of athleticism, nearly this amount of juice in a pregame warm-up. He's doing windmill. He's clearly doing things pregame to show I'm healthy, I'm available, I'm ready to play. At the end of the day, I got a sneaky feeling. I don't know how much they'll let him play. I got a sneaky feeling the Bucks have fan appreciation night. They don't have another home game till Friday, right? Is that the last game of the season?
That is the last home game of the season.
Last home game. Last home game is Friday against the Nets. And when's the last game of the season? That's the last game of the season, right? No. They then play Sunday. The last game of the season is that Sunday against the Sixers. I just don't know. Do you do him a solid? Let him play with his brothers. Maybe again, one game. You're playing the Nets. It ain't like he got to go. He ain't gonna be. Listen, Giannis hardly plays defense anymore when the game's on the line. He ain't about to be in a sliding in defense. He just wants to go run and dunk and do his thing and take some jump shots. You play him 25 minutes. Maybe you let him play a game before that to ramp himself up. When do the Bucks play again?
I think it's at Brooklyn. I think they got they got 2 games against Brooklyn. I can't remember who else.
So they have a back-to-back Tuesday, Wednesday, Brooklyn, Detroit. And then they play. And then there's that Friday. So again, maybe you let him play 15 minutes against Detroit. Maybe you let him play 15 minutes against Brooklyn on Tuesday. And then Friday you let him come out and that way he gets to get out there with his brother. I think it would be. Listen. There's no question he's healthy enough to play. It's the question of whether or not you're just hoping he doesn't get injured again. I don't know, man. I think you let him run around out there at least Friday and do him that solid. He's done a lot for the city. And here's the thing, Justin. We talk all. That's why I kind of love. That's why I kind of love how we discuss and talk about this, because I think people get entrenched into one side where a lot of people are on the side. Either you're on the side of Giannis now, or you're on the side of the Bucks. Mm-hmm. And we do that. That's how this thing's at. You're either on the side of KPJ or you're on the side of Ryan Rollins. You're either on the side of Bobby Portis or you're on the side of Trey Bobby. You're either on the side of, well, nobody's really on Doc Rivers' side. My point is, that's what the Bucks, that's what the fan base is. You're either this or you're that. And that's why I hate when people try to tell me, oh, you stay on that side with Rollins. I've always liked Rollins. I've never on like a side. Like I hate, or like the AJ Green, you're either on the side. Again, I'd love if AJ Green put up 30 a night. I'm going to trash talk. I'm going to talk shit if you go 2 of 10. That's what I'm going to do. And if you go 10 of 10, I'm going to say, damn, great game. Just like Miles Turner tonight. Hell of a game tonight. So my point is, we came on this. We've been, okay, you had a guy on our chat that was like, I can't listen to shit. I'm done for the year because you guys are too hard on Giannis. And that's what I like. I like the fact that we'll have people who say you're too hard on Giannis. Then we'll have some people who will be like, man, you guys won't give it up. Da, da, da. Right. Because that's how it should. Because I'm going to evaluate everything as it comes in. My point, and I know I'm yapping, my point about that is, as hard as I am and how I think, as badly as I think Giannis has mismanaged this, as much as I don't agree with some of his stances, some of his comments, I agree with Doc Rivers that they shouldn't have handled this in public, should have been done behind private door. As much as I agree with it's probably in the Bucks' best interest not to play him and all of that, Some of me is like, yeah, I would let him. I let him run out there and play with his brothers. He's done enough to me. He's done enough to do that. I would do it again. I'm not saying you're playing the next 4 games. No, but hey, I might let you run 1 or 2 out there. You tell me he can't. You're that afraid of 15, 20 minutes? If he played 5-minute burst, 5 minutes and you're out. 5 minutes and you're out. And then in the game we up 15. I'll let you run out there for 2 minutes with the Nasses and Alex.
Yeah, I hear you. So let's talk about one thing real quick. So when you look at divorce, separation, any of this stuff, it's never solely one party's fault. So if you come here to listen to Bucks postgame, you come here because we keep it 100 either way. We're not up here carrying the flag and saying Haslam, Edens, Horst, and all the owners are right on par with this either. But we're also not saying Giannis is right on par with this either. Giannis has had terrible missteps, and he's done things that are detrimental to this basketball team this year. And I think you heard that from the players after the trade deadline when they said we feel like a weight is off our shoulder, and we won, 9 out of 12, and the team looked absolutely amazing. I don't care if it's against good competition, bad competition, or in between, because before that, we were losing to everybody. However, when I look forward at this, right, and I look at this right now, when I told you earlier, guys like Cormac Ryan, guys like Ryan Rollins, these games are instrumental for their future. I think the same argument can be made for Giannis in this situation. This can be something meaningful that he builds the rest of his Milwaukee career on, potentially. But I think what needs to happen, this relationship is fractured too hard. You have to go back and bridge this gap. Giannis has to do some therapy stuff with the Bucks, and I'm not talking about legit therapy, but we got to get some of this ironed out behind closed doors. I give Doc a lot of credit for saying that. And he also said that there's no bad people involved in this. And I agree with that too. But I say put Giannis on the floor, put Alex on the floor, put the Nassus on the floor, do it against Brooklyn. I understand, and I know there's a lot of people that are going to be on the other side that are going to say that, there's a potential that Giannis may get hurt. That's true. Giannis can also blow that same Achilles out working out the summer, working on his jump shot, working on cuts there. So if you're going to risk it, do the guy a solid that has been in this city for as long as he can be. And do I agree with all the stuff that he's done? Absolutely not. I think a lot of the stuff he's done has been real kind of BS, man. And we talked about it the last show. There's a lot of Brett Favre stuff at the end of his career where it was me. And I'm not saying Giannis at the end of his career, but I say to sum it all up, let's try to find a way to fix this marriage, blend it all back together, get everybody on the same page. Start the Three Brothers is a great step in that direction, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's how I'd handle it. I saw the comment about what if he tears his Achilles. I get it. That's a risk I'd be willing to take. That's how I feel about it. All right, let's go to Twitter real quick here as we bring it to a close. Again, I told you we would be really quick tonight. At Rings Talk said, because I said Bucks take care of business. He said losing would have been taking care of business. Again, I just totally disagree with the notion that I talked about at the beginning. Getting the 9th pick versus 10th pick, who cares? Having a 4% chance at getting a higher pick versus 7%, who cares? Like, y'all are, again, the time for that was when the Bucks won 8 of 10. And that right around the All-Star break. That was the time for that. It didn't happen. The Bucks were going for it, which again, I agree with that at the moment too. But then they lost games after it. And so that the time for that was way before. They would have had to make an organizational decision to tank before the All-Star break is when they would have had to make that decision, not now. So I disagree that winning the game here, like they'll probably beat the Nets unless they actively rest everybody. They'll probably beat the Nets. They'll win at least one more game. They ain't gonna lose twice to the Nets, so they'll probably win one of them. And yeah, I see Richard C says, what if Giannis doesn't sign extension? Well, not Mark Lazary. Wes Eaton said they trade him. But again, we go back to it. I think if he's here on October 1st and they're actually able to offer it, he will sign it. That's how that's going to go. If Giannis is in Milwaukee on October 1st and has the opportunity to sign 4 years, $275, he's going to sign it. He's either going to get traded this summer or he's not. If he does not get traded this summer, Giannis will probably finish his career in Milwaukee. That's how I feel about it. That's what I think's gonna happen. At Sunk345 says, what can Torian Prince do that Alex Antetokounmpo can? Okay. Ballast Stan says Cormac Ryan has value. Don't you think so? Don't you think, Guru? Yes, I do. Yes, I do think he has value. At Will Lindquist says, about time the Bucks came to play tonight. It was super refreshing to see them hustle and try. Even though it's Easter, they still made me smile today. Go Bucks. Great win. What a way to finish. Good stuff from Will there. At Scarcity Student says, I hope not. I'm over this whole, he said, I hope not. He's talking about Giannis and his brothers playing together. He said, I hope not. This whole my brothers crap. It's a professional sports team. This clown show needs to end so we can all get back to following the team we love. And then at Shaq B94 says, is Cormac better than AJ Green? Question mark, eyes. Regardless, Rilo, KPJ, AJ Green, Cormac, Oos, Nance, Sims, tons of value, all below the MLE. Guessing KPJ gets around $13 million this summer, not to mention the top 10 pick. Giannis comes to a senses, Doc fired. MPJ trade could be very, because he's mapped out the entire offseason here, and we'll see if that happens. MW Ballers TV says, did y'all touch on Giannis allegedly refusing to participate? Yes, we did. We did touch on it. And again, I saw someone else in the comments who said, was that the actual response from Giannis, that Giannis said that the Bucks, that going 3-on-3 has never been part of the process? I didn't know if that was, if Giannis actually said that back. I didn't hear that piece. But
well, I mean, if he did, I just think with the amount of lower body injuries that he has, I think he needs to err in caution at the side of the doctors and the training staff. Don't push this. You have nothing to gain by pushing this other than potentially a career-altering injury. We saw it with Damian Lillard. We saw it with Tyrese Halliburton. And we saw it with Jason Tatum. Now, Tatum and Halliburton are a lot younger. Lillard is older. Giannis is somewhere in between them on the age graph, and you just don't want to risk blowing out your lower body injury on, just like it's the Milwaukee Bucks' most important offseason, it's also Giannis's most important offseason as well.
Agree. No question. All right, let's go. Well, oh yeah. So on teams to play. So the Suns beat the Bulls today, 120-110. Bucks again. That's what I'm saying. Oh, I gotta lose. But Bucks are now 2 games ahead of the Bulls in the win column. They're 2 games ahead of the Bulls with 4 games left to play. You might as well win. They're not catching. You're not catching them, dog. They're not gonna catch you. So at this point, lose. Look, they're not. You might as well win now. They ain't catching you.
And remember, cut you off, Trey, but remember, if we all believe a lot of this stuff with Adam Silver, and we talked about it earlier in the year with the lack of foul calls, all this other stuff, Adam Silver's not letting us get a top 5 pick. It's just, if you truthfully believe that's how Cooper Flagg got to Dallas, Adam Silver, I guarantee if there's anything he can do, if he does do this stuff to stop us from doing it, he will.
Yeah. I listen, man. I hope the Bucks can. I joke about Silver rig and stuff. I don't think he does. I don't know. It was odd that Cooper Flagg went to Mavericks though. After they traded Luka.
Just saying.
Let's say Nets beat the Wizards today. Celtics beat the Raptors. The Pacers are up right now of the Cavaliers. You got a number of games coming up at the 7:00 hour Eastern. Lakers, Mavericks are coming up on NBC as well and on Peacock. Interesting if you could talk about, since we're going to talk about the Lakers and LeBron James anyway. The funny thing there, what's not funny, but Austin Reeves now out. Luka Doncic is probably gonna miss the first round. Austin Reeves is gonna miss probably at least the first round as well. So. And again, this is what I said this on Twitter. There are no excuses because nobody gave the Bucks excuses for guys being out and guys missing. So there are no excuses. JJ Redick, figure it out. JJ Redick, LeBron, figure it out. Getting to LeBron. LeBron, of course, got a lot of backlash for his discussion about Memphis and things going on in Memphis and not wanting to be there. And for whatever reason, the Milwaukee Bucks caught a stray. He was sitting down. They were asking about it, and what was his quote? I think he said something like, there's two cities I don't, two cities I don't want to be in, Memphis and Milwaukee. And I'm like, where did that come from? He also said he didn't want to go back to his hometown of Akron. But again, here's what I say to that, Justin. I ain't gonna be long about it. Here's what I say. You're 41, bro. You are 41 with a family. What you so worried about going out in every NBA city for? What you looking for in every? What are you out there looking for in every NBA city? What you partying? Where you going? That to me, just chilling. That's all you need to be doing, big dog. I don't know what you so pressed to go out for. And so I don't understand that. But again, I will say this. In serious, I will say this. The difference and I do understand what people in Memphis are talking about. The difference is, even in talking bad about Milwaukee or talking bad about Akron, he didn't say, and I think this is let me say this is their point. He didn't say move the Milwaukee Bucks to Madison. That's what I think what the Memphis people are upset about. It's not that he just said, I don't like to be Memphis, Memphis sucks. It was, Memphis sucks and you should move the team to Nashville. That's, I think, and I get that point about where they got upset.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it the other time. Nashville is a affluent city, just great city. But as far as for Milwaukee, man, like, listen, Milwaukee has. You talked about it last time. We can use them as a sponsor next year. The Trade Hotel,
Yeah.
phenomenal hotel. You got restaurants to go. You got Carnivore. We're open for sponsorships. Carnivore. You have, and LeBron has picked up the game of golf recently, right?
Yeah.
If you go and you look, depending on the year, either Wisconsin or Michigan are the number 1 rated golf state in the country. So maybe we caught a stray, and it's foolish to me. When you look around, and I've been to a lot of different NBA cities, I don't think that Milwaukee is a bottom tier. The ownership has done a great job of revitalizing that downtown. We have a lot of good things going on down there in Milwaukee. Hell, LeBron, I invite you to come up and, I mean, you got so many teams. You're from Cleveland, but you're a Yankees fan, and I'm sorry, Akron, but you're a Yankees fan, and then you're a Cowboys fan, and then you're a whatever it is. I mean, smells a lot like front running to me. But hey, man, like, just keep Milwaukee name out your mouth, man. And matter of fact, just keep Memphis name out your mouth too. Like, you had your run and all that other stuff. It was great. You won 3 legit titles, and you got your 4th one in the bubble. Like, if we want to keep it a buck, the Milwaukee Bucks were the best team in the NBA that year, and COVID shut it down, and you would have had 3 championships. And then what would the conversation have been? Just saying. So, I mean, you want to throw strays and stuff like that, we could throw them too at you. There's a whole lot of stuff, and I seen someone put in the chat. We ain't going to bring that up. But, however, Milwaukee is a great city. It's a top-tier city. Chicago summers are absolutely amazing. Won't take anything away from that town other than the Cubs and the Bears suck. However, Chicago and Milwaukee are 2 of the best cities in America to spend your summer in. City of festivals for a reason. And if you haven't been to Milwaukee, if you just jumped on this bandwagon and you became a Giannis fan, that's the only reason why you're here. Before you leave here, when Giannis ever does, go to Milwaukee Summerfest. Go to some of the festivals downtown. Enjoy the city. Guarantee you to change your outlook on Milwaukee. We got the breweries in Milwaukee. Every type of beer you want to have. We got some bratwurst. We got Old World 3rd Street. I don't know about any of the adult entertainment out there. I probably would leave that alone. Maybe. I don't know. I wasn't old enough to go to that stuff. But collegiate atmosphere, Milwaukee is a vibrant town. However, when it's cold, it's tough out there. I mean, but it is what it is.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Everything you said there. Like I said, we'll run out of time, so I'll leave it at that. Only other thing, real quick, Michigan with the dub over Arizona last night. Absolutely. I mean, just dominant the entire game. UConn, Illinois was was good. I thought Illinois was gonna pull it off. They played well, fought hard, and just couldn't get over the hump. Late in that basketball game, to UConn. Huskies. Dan Hurley. I can't. This interview out there. I can't wait to see them get a mud hole stomped in them by Michigan. What was that, Monday night?
Monday night.
Yes, I can't wait to see that Monday night. But again, I think Michigan's gonna absolutely beat UConn down. Any thoughts there on the tournament and the what you saw yesterday?
Well, if folks paid attention, Chris King told you that this game could go either way, and the bigs from Michigan were just as good as the Arizona ones. And what I thought that would be the key to the game was the guards. And what did I say? I said if that guy came out with the straight back braids, they'd be in trouble. He came out with the same braids, but he didn't show up for Arizona. The backcourt is what cost Arizona that basketball game. And as far as for Illinois and UConn, look, man, Illinois was a team that could have won the national championship, and they were also a team that could have lost to St. Mary's School a little blind. They were extremely bipolar this year. I thought it was a hell of a run by them, though. And, it's great. Now we got Michigan and we have UConn. And I think that Michigan, May is a much better coach than your boy out there, Hurley and UConn. Well, I'm not going to say he's a better coach. Excuse me. Let me not. I think that he is a much better team, a formidable team to win the championship. I do think that Hurley is actually a great coach and he's a great motivator, and what he's did is great, and he's great for the basketball game. So him beating Illinois kind of helps drive the ratings for that game. Phenomenal basketball tournament this year, though. I'm at the bottom like I normally do. I just donate $10 to the Cream City Crossover Challenge. It's all good, but I did beat all the girls in the house here. So first win ever as Papa J. So we're good on that. And then just one last thing. Lastly, man, shout out to them UCLA Bruins who kind of gave Dawn Staley and them ladies belt to ass today. That was a phenomenal basketball game by UCLA.
Yeah,
much deserved.
I didn't watch it, but again, I did see the results. So kudos to the UCLA women. Good stuff, Justin. Let's have anything else. We'll wrap it there and get up out of here.
Nothing else I got, brother.
All right,
appreciate
cool.
all of y'all for joining us on Easter. Happy Easter to you and your families. Sorry.
Absolutely.
That's all I got.
Absolutely. Happy Easter to everybody out there. Appreciate you guys for joining us. Could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We appreciate it as always, whether you're watching on YouTube, on Twitter, on TV, on the flat screen, on your phone, on the computer, on whatever you're watching. Again, we just appreciate your comments as well, all over in the chat and whatnot. What I want to say, I always forget these lines. But again, we appreciate it 100%. Happy Easter to you, Will. Happy Easter to everybody. Again, please like, share, follow, subscribe, all the good stuff. Tell a friend about the Cruise Cross. It is the best Milwaukee Bucks Postgame Show in all of the land. Bucks win tonight, 131-115. This has been a Cream City Media Group production from the Guru Translator.
Justin.
If I am an enemy, it is only because I dare to tell you the truth. Don't take no wood nickels.